What's good, everybody? You are tuning in again to another episode of the Black Service Announcement. It's kind of late at night for me, but we'll do it anyway. I have my great friend Sky with me. Sky, go on ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Peace, God, peace. This is Sky. I'm 28. I have a son who's 11 I love dearly, and I'm 15 months into Black consciousness.
All right. So today, we're gonna talk about relationships, and I'm kind of curious in opposed to why you wanted to touch on this subject.
Well, the main thing is that I feel like our lives revolve around the relationships that we have, and if we can actually the better the relationships we have, it can actually enhance our lives. So it's important that we're able to utilize our relationships in the right way.
Now, explain what you mean when you say utilize relationships in the right way. What do you mean by that?
well, well, for one, I'm gonna start with my background a little bit. First of all, I'm an only child.
Okay.
I feel like I've had both seen and unseen help. Like, for example, my father raised me as a single parent. He had a little bit of help from his mom, and that was my female role model. But I feel like without them, I wouldn't have gotten as far as I am. Well, I'm gonna go into when I was in grade school. When I was in grade school, second grade, I had a teacher who, I guess she felt like I was slow, like I needed to be in slow classes or whatnot, and pretty much my parents weren't going for it. I mean, I couldn't imagine, like, I feel like the reason I'm at where I am today is because my parents are looking out for me, and I feel like we need to reflect, and we need to understand, overstand that the way we're treated is the way we also need to treat others, and we need to honor our relationships more, and we need to understand and overstand when a person is putting energy out, we need to give energy back to them. We need to give life back to them.
And I totally agree.
Sorry, I just want to finish this up.
Oh, go ahead.
But long story short, I mean, I was living with both my grandmother and my father. They had different addresses. I couldn't go to that school either way because it was closer to my grandma's house, and you have to be at a school where it's closer to your parents' house. So they ended up switching schools anyway. But even though I might have worked a little bit harder, I still made it. I never flunked. You know, I was one of those laid-back children where, I might have taken more time getting ready and getting my book bag on and things like that. My parents, they spoiled me rotten. They took really good care of me, probably overdid it, but they looked out for me, and they didn't accept the fact of me going into slow classes or anything like that. It's a hindrance. So I know a lot of parents do that with their kids. They honor what the teacher is telling them, and they have their kids put in these classes, and it actually makes things worse. So I'm just thankful that they didn't do that with me, even though they saw that I may have issues. They just taught me to just work harder. Just work harder. That's all. Simple as that.
It's crazy that you say that because I went through the same similar upbringing. My mother died when I was first born of tuberculosis, and with that, the role of mother and father was laid upon my grandmother and my aunts. I had a learning disability, And actually, what made my grandmother say, you know, nah, I need to build a relationship with him that to help him understand that he's not the label that everybody gives him. Um, you know, she took the time out to make sure that I got my schoolwork right. She took the time out. She never accepted the fact of, oh, he's a tad bit slow or he learns differently. So when you talk about that, and you know you talk about going through it, do understand. I understand you. If nobody out there right now understands you, I know wholeheartedly where you're coming from. And
That's love, brother. Thank you.
it's the relationships that we build with people and the relationships that we have with people, they direct the choices that we make. I mean, personally, how I feel, you know, every choice that a person makes is one step closer to another person's either destiny or the revelation of life. So our relationships and what we put into them, whether they are an intimate relationship or a platonic relationship, you know, you got to give out what you put in. Or put in what you want to have, you know, given back to you. And I do think that it's important. I think that it's important, even in an intimate relationship, that you give that nurturing self, I guess, to your significant other, because again, that love that you give or that hate, that can determine the outcome of many other things to come. So it is important. It's very important. It is
Absolutely, absolutely. One of the other important things about relationships is you definitely have to research a person. You have to know them. You have to know them really well. One of the things that I do that if I like to put myself in my own situation and also put how others view me as well. I feel like I feel like it's stronger because I'm an introvert. So sometimes I fall into the category of I'll actually feel like I know what that person's feeling, but sometimes I do make up stuff. It's not necessarily them; it's me. You know. But I'm trying to figure out where I'm going with this. Yeah, that's what I was saying. We have to know who we're getting involved with. One of the things that I do, you know, I utilize my social medias and whatnot, but when I find somebody that I'm fascinated in, a new friend or something like that, I'll go down their whole timeline. I'll go to their first post and just see what they're about. And I'm not really a judgmental person or anything, but I want to know. I'm like, okay, what are they talking about on their timeline? It gives me a good idea of what their personality is like as well. So I feel like each individual, they're interested in somebody, they need to dive a little bit deep. Some people probably would think that's creepy, but really, it's, to me, as far as I'm concerned, it's a smart move. Because if you're going to be involved with people, you need to know where their mind's at, where they're thinking, what they're posting, all that stuff.
And
it works the same way when you know somebody in person. Yeah.
And you're absolutely right about that. Like, I think us as people in the society, and I said this on a previous show, we're so interested in the speed connection or speed dating. We're so, we want that right there understanding, if that makes sense. And
Mhm.
we don't we don't
Right, exactly.
we don't take out the time. We literally don't take out the time and then wonder why, you know, the relationship failed, or um the love wasn't there. You know, there's things that or that a person shows you when you get with them or talk with them. And I think a lot of what we've done is we've gotten so excited about finding something or finding someone that has the same interest and the same likes as what we have, and we don't stop to listen to their intent. And I think that's
Mhm. Mhm.
I,
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of where we get misconstrued. And even with relationships, I have friends who, they, try to do some enlightenment, or, if they see a young sister in the street and they just trying to share words of wisdom, you know, that that person's energy is offsetting, is off-putting. Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
we have to we have we have to pick and choose who we want to have in our lives, because at the end of the day, even though we want to build connections with people, we have to also understand we have to build connections with the right people.
Right. Mhm. Exactly. Yes. Exactly. A lot of times when it comes to relationships, we're looking outside of ourselves. We're not doing the internal work that's necessary in order to actually find the right people. Um, so that's double whammy. So we have to definitely be mindful of where our time's going towards, because when it comes to social interaction, we're still doing it wrong, because um, we need to do the internal work. It's not an easy process, but we actually have to do self love and things like that. We were so quick to say, "Oh, we can love this person. I'll just give my all to this person," and that's doing it wrong. You should give your all to yourself, so that you can give to others. You can't, you can't give if you have an empty cup.
It's not even if you can't give if you have an empty cup. You can't give to somebody that's not going to give you the same back in return. And it's a quote and a saying that I like to use a lot of times. It's not love that's bittersweet. It's what you don't get back in return that hurts you. And
Right, right, yes.
we we gotten accustomed to, even if it hurts us a little bit, we'll still accept it. Why?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why?
Right. We set the bar up some. Mm-hmm.
Why accept this hurt? Why accept this pain if you don't have any reason to? And I think, again,
Exactly.
we've gotten too accustomed to it. We've gotten, you know, I think also with men, when it comes to relationships, whether it's platonic or whether it's intimate, which with men sometimes is more of an intimate thing than it is a platonic then intimate, depending on where you're going with it. We're so quick to get to the we're so quick we're so quick to go from trying to be a friend to, yeah, I got with that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
we don't take out the time anymore to appreciate who the woman or who the person is, depending on your preference when it comes to a relationship. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we've really stopped. We've really we've lost connection. We've lost, and I also blame some of it on social media also. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we've lost connection with ourselves as human beings. We can connect with each other better on a social media platform than we could seeing each other face to face.
That's right, and that's messed up. Mm-hmm.
You know,
Exactly.
it's and I'm not gonna sit up and feel or not feel, but I'm not going to sit up and be hypocritical because, you know, a lot of the friends that I've made over the years have been friends that I've met over social media. But within the same, you know, it kind of still proves the point. You know, if I can make friends easily over an internet or a social media platform, why can I not make friends in the outside world? So, you know, when it does come to relationships, you have to, you can't be blinded. You can't have your blinders on. You have to be able to see everything from a 360 view. And
Right.
that's how I look at it at the end of the day.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, like, one of the other things we need to do, we need to not, like, even when it comes to having a relationship with our families, like, I feel like we need to honor that. We aren't grateful enough. We don't have enough gratitude. I mean, you cannot get rewarded if you're not thankful for what you have in your life. And I think that's also one of the reasons why we be running into problems as well, because we need to be thankful for those who are already around us. Why are we looking outside of ourselves? Why not be like, oh, you know, such and such over there. This is the good. You know, we don't acknowledge that enough.
And you're right. We take a lot of things for granted. And being in a relationship, also having a relationship, even with present people in your life, we take that for granted a lot of times. I was watching a film on Facebook, where his father, you know, he was always doing something. I think he was like a single father. He was always trying to look out for his daughter. You know, she was getting bullied in school. He would go out and get her favorite food, or when all the kids would make fun of her because she was riding a bike and everybody had a scooter. He went out, you know, and worked hard to the bone to make sure she had that. And she wasn't grateful for her father. You know, the man would come home and, you know, bring 2 plates of food. She'll take her plate, throw it on the ground, and then walk away. You know, and the father just wanted to have a meal with her. You know, and I think, you know, looking at that little short film, it made me realize we really take our families for granted. You know, we think that our family dies from this or dies from that. No, sometimes our family members die from a broken heart. Look how we treat them. Look how we treat them.
That's deep.
Look how we
Right.
look how we talk to them. Look how we talk to our mothers. Look how we treat our mothers. You think, you know, we all say that we love our family. We all say that we have a love for any specific person in our family.
Yeah.
What are we doing to really show them that we care? What are we doing to really say, hey, I do love you. Hey, I do care about you. Hey, you do mean the world to me. You know, right before I had talked to you, me and my mom, we had gotten into a little, not even really an argument, a little disagreement. And afterwards, she pulled me to the side after it was all said and done, and she was just like, you know, I just want to tell you that I'm proud of you. You know, you're trying to do something for yourself, and even though you don't have the proper tools or the right avenue or have the right people backing you, you're still doing it. She's like, I just want to let you know that I'm proud of you. And all that frustration, all that little bit of hatred, all that childish activity that I'm still stuck in till this day, all that went out the window. You know, just to hear my mom say to me, hey, I'm proud of you. You're doing something that nobody else, you're not waiting on anybody. You're going to do it regardless. Being able to show your parents or show whomever that you can do something, showing them something inside of you that they've seen or that they see, but now you see it and now you know it. You know, it's you get what you give.
Right.
If you put positivity into your relationship, if you put positivity into what you love, if you put positivity into your family, whatever it may be, that is what you will get out.
Most definitely. Yes. Absolutely.
That is what you will most definitely get out. And you know, again, we're speaking on the topic of relationships. If you're just tuning in, and again, we as people have an opportunity to change a lot of things. I feel that if you have a family that has nothing but hatred in your heart, and you're the only one that has that abundance of love that outweighs all that hate that everybody else has, you have a chance or a responsibility to build relationships to where maybe you might not be able to get to your cousin Carol. You may not be able to get to your Aunt Sue, but you're able to get to your cousin Billy Joe. You're able to get to your cousin Aretha. And I know these are probably some weird, crazy names, but
No, you good. You good. It don't matter. We be having some weird names.
Yeah, we do.
My middle name is Marquesa, so it's, hey, it is what it is.
I like that.
Thanks.
But the point that I'm trying to make is, even if we'll even put it in a shorter analogy, you may not be able to awake your significant other, or you may not be able to wake your cousin with the words that you say or with the information that you have. But you can turn them on to somebody that is awoke, that knows the truth, that knows about themselves. And he might take to them better than he can take to you. But in the same token, it's all about who you touch. Your relationship with me is going to be different than what relationship I may have with your cousin that you put me in direction of. But you understand, you're that stepping stone. And a lot of people I hear, a lot of people, they hate being used as that term or that label. But a lot of people are stepping stones. And sometimes if we embrace who we are as people first, from the inside out, who you are as a human being, life will be so much better.
I'm glad you're bringing that up. That makes me want to touch on this even further. We need to stop restraining ourselves so much. We need to stop holding ourselves at a standard of the crowd. We do need to become more free. We need to become more testimonial. Like, people hold things in and they feel like they're going to get judged, when ultimately each and every one of us should be putting information out there so we can provide healing to people, heal those around us. Brothers and sisters could be going through the exact same thing and not know what to do. So we should always speak our truth no matter what. It's at risk. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that I did want to say about that. You brought up a good point. I just wanted to add to it.
And I appreciate that. I'm gonna finish it off with the cherry on top. In life, people, we have tests, and every day we pass, and some tests we fail. But the tests that we fail in life, those tests end up becoming our testimony, and our testimonies, those are like our extra credit to pass that test. And the more we keep going for that extra credit, the more we keep going for that extra credit, the sky's the limit. You don't know. And it's the same with equality. And one thing I really want to clear up, a lot of my shows I are targeted for my young black viewers, and my black people. But in the same token, everything that's being said still applies to any and everybody. I do want to get that out the way. I do also want to say that with that being said, again, your testimony, you don't know. Let me tell y'all a little something about myself, man. When I was younger, I was molested. I was molested at the age of 7 by some kids that were curious about themselves, probably just finding themselves. And it was an unfortunate circumstance for me. And I'm probably pretty sure, being older, realizing and knowing what you did as, getting older, reminiscing, I'm pretty sure that there's some doors that those people keep shut as well. But through it all, it made me a better person. I'm not going to say I like the situation. I'm not going to say I would ever want to relive this situation. But did it make me a better person? Did it make me who I am today? It sure as hell did. Would I go through it again just to get to this point? Just to tell somebody, hey, man, it can happen to you, but you can get over it as well. And I think us as men, we've gotten so comfortable with wanting to be masculine and, oh, I'm hard and you can't, I'm hard, dog, and you can't, nah, man, I'm too, man, come up out that bullshit, man. There's a child out there, there's somebody out there that's dependent on a relationship with you to get over that rock in a hard place. And because we stop having a relationship, you know what? When you talk about a relationship, the first thing you have to really think about is what type of relationship do you have with yourself?
Exactly.
Then you can go to everything else. Because if you don't have a relationship with yourself, I can't have a relationship with you. I can't, if I don't even have a 1/8 relationship with myself, just a little bit, how the hell can I have a relationship with you?
Right, exactly. That's so true.
Again, to double back on what Sky was saying earlier, we have a testimony. Her testimony earlier in what she was telling about herself, I went through. Maybe not to the extent that she went through it, and she probably didn't go to the extent that I went through it, but we went through similar situations.
Absolutely.
Now, what happened if, and that's one thing I have to say is the beauty about social media is because you can talk to people and interact with people. But then again, we have a platform to build relationships with people that you never had thought possible. And with that being said, we need to start building relationships. If not through our communities, we need to just start going out and making relationships. You never know what you can learn. You never know what you can know. And the best thing that I can always tell people is our Creator gave us one mouth, 2 eyes and 2 ears, and one brain. 2 eyes to see, 2 ears to hear, twice as much as we think and as we talk.
Right, exactly, yeah. I did want to touch on something else. One of the other things I wanted to touch on is we are very disconnected from knowing ourselves, loving ourselves altogether, because we're born into a world where we are taught to act and be a certain way to be accepted and feel accepted. So that makes it extra difficult to want to get more in tune with ourselves, because out of the womb, we were trained to be accepted.
And you're right. Let me touch on that real quick. we are in search to be accepted because we haven't, again, learned how to accept ourselves. Understanding when you're coming up in the world, you're building a relationship with yourself along with other people. You're mingling personalities to find your own. But with that being said, and with that being demonstrated, you you have to understand that you are still an important part of this puzzle that we call life. And you have to be able to find acceptance into yourself before you can find the world to accept you. And I think that that's where again, where we fail at. We try to search for acceptance in any and everything that we do. It doesn't matter whether it doesn't matter what it may or may not be. Um, we just got to start accepting each other for who we are, being happy with each other, um, whether different by skin color, whether different by creed, by race. Well, that's second, but first you just got to learn how to accept yourself. You can't build a relationship if you can't build something with somebody if you haven't built nothing for yourself. I will say it again. You cannot build something with somebody if you have not built it with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't. And again, it you gotta you have to you gotta know yourself, you gotta love yourself, and all in all, you have to make sure that you're number one at the end of the day, that you're important.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. I just want to say something real quick. One of the things that a lot of people don't know, they feel like, oh, if you love yourself, that's being selfish. No, you're preparing yourself to give to others, because when your cup is full, you can then give to others. But yeah, that's all I wanted to touch on.
And you're right. When you love yourself, you can love others. When you love yourself, you can give that same love to your child. You can give your same love because there's a level, there's a pinnacle, there's a point, there's a place where you understand that, without this love, you will not survive. People die of a broken heart. And it doesn't matter whether you're a serial killer, whether you have a mind of a saint or a heart of a sinner. Everybody has feelings. Everybody yearns and wants for something. Nobody wants to be alone. Nobody wants to feel misunderstood. You want to know why half of the killers are killers, why the other half are rapists or murderers, and that's not to excuse them, and it's not to give them a buddy pass, but it's to simply say that somewhere in their lives, somebody, and again, it all circles back. Having a great relationship. Somebody in their lives, the relationship that they had with somebody in their lives damaged them so much to the point that they're screwed up. Do you blame them for it? You can if you want to. But again, when you don't take out the time to have a relationship with that person or these group of people, guess what? You don't have no room to judge. Just like they say, just like there's when you judge somebody, there is what is it? When you point the finger to somebody, there's three pointing back at you, and that's the most truest statement.
Right.
You can't. And another thing that I want to say, and it was something that you said earlier, and one thing I got to commend your parents on, they didn't let what others said limit you be your limitation.
Right, exactly.
And we need more people. We need more people like that.
Yeah.
I don't. There ain't. How can I put this to you? You know, if you think about it, you and I, we grew up with parents that gave a fuck. We grew up with people
You're right.
that regardless, regardless of anything, regardless of how things were, they they weren't giving up. They weren't giving up on us. That's for one. For two, um, it wasn't they never gave up on us, and they
Right.
didn't let what the system say make us who we were. You know,
Right.
you have your respected
Mm-hmm.
you have your little respected YouTube channel that you're doing your thing on. I have my respected YouTube channel I'm doing my thing on, and they probably both said that we wouldn't be smart enough to operate a computer. They probably both said that we wouldn't be smart enough to be able to raise our own kids. I'm pretty sure that they said that we wouldn't be smart enough to want to think about starting our own business or wanting to be able to start. That's what I want to say. Don't let what they label you as be your label. You make your own label before they make a label for you. And that's the point that I really want to
Absolutely.
have hit home. You are
Mm-hmm.
not what they label you as. You're not.
Mm.
If your name is Sky, to me, that means the sky's the limit for you. However,
Right.
however, however,
You-
however you want to view your name, however you want to view a label for your name. If your name is Sky, and you, whatever label you have, hell, however they label the Sky, hell, that's what you want to be labeled as. I'm clean. I'm clean, but I can be toxic. I don't. It doesn't matter. You have to be comfortable within your own name and within your own self. You know.
yes.
I tell anybody, you can call me anything but a bitch, an asshole, or a dick, because I don't have to answer.
Exactly.
I don't have to answer to you. I don't have to.
Mm.
But
Right.
if I do answer to you, I might as well let you put a label on me. And that's just the point. Not even the point. That's just the view that I wanted to well, not the view, but that's just the I just had to hit that on the head. I we got to start loving ourselves more. Um Loving ourselves more, caring about the bullshit less.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You just gotta start caring about everything else less. And I think with that we will be all right. I think when it does come down to relationships, once we boil everything down to its key elements and we find the problem and we learn how to work that balance out so everything is in harmony with each other, then we can be able to be in harmony with the world. It all starts at home, and home is where the heart is. So wherever your values are, whatever what type of person you're trying to be, it all starts within you. And once you realize who you are as a person, other things won't affect you as bad as the next. um, and again, we got to start doing better. We got to start uplifting each other. We just got to start doing things that other people are not going to do for us.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
You know, I hear a lot. I hear a lot in the black community, and I've even said it myself. We need to start a lot of black businesses, but how many of us are really trying to do something about it? Or
Mm-hmm.
we need to start educating our black women into to how not let not well how not to let the propaganda of social media and television be be your lifestyle. Um, And I still say, what are you doing about it?
Mhm.
You
Right.
know, so
Be making some type of systems that goal. Yeah.
it's time for us to either put up or shut up, and I'm ready to put up. You know, it, it's just where we're at. Not only as a people, but as a country, as a nation. Um, we we have to start looking towards the future and not looking towards the past. Be educated from the past. Be educated. Do your research, but let your research, what you find, educate you into making it a better future. And that's yeah, that's all I have to say. That
Good
is
point, guys. I appreciate that. Yeah, definitely.
you know, and I can preach about this all day, but at the end of the day, what it comes down to is people. Um, Relationships are very important. Relationships are something that we all need. Relationships are something that makes us who we are. And if we don't start learning how to interact with people in a better way than what we are and what we do, we are going to expel ourselves and extinct ourselves in the worst way possible. You can't take a person out of their mind frame. If a person's pro black and they're not trying to see equality, I'm not going to try to steer you into that direction. But at the end of the day, build a relationship. God damn it, it doesn't hurt to talk to somebody for 2 minutes. You never know what you can learn from them.
Mhm.
My black people, stop with the mean mugging shit. That's what's stopping us. To me, I don't know about everybody else, but to me, and I do it too. I do it too. I won't even be a hypocrite. But we got to come up out of that mean mugginess. We got to come up out of that. Everybody's out to hurt me, because sometimes some people just want to hold a conversation. You don't know whose life you could be saving from the conversation
Mm.
that you have with them. You never know whose life you just helped. You don't know where that blessing may end up coming for you in the long run. So, people, man, sometimes just surprise yourself and do something out the ordinary, man. Travel walk the path less traveled. You never know where it may take you. You never know. You never know.
Yes.
You never know. Well, my queen. Do you have anything that you want to say to these good people?
Peace, love, and light. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I hope that this this can help because we do need to strengthen our relationships mainly with ourselves, so we can also build better relationship with other people. That's all I have to say.
Well, until the next time, people, man, if you haven't already, yo, go check my homegirl Sky out on Instagram, on Facebook. I will be leaving those links in the description box below. Also, real quick, August 26th, I am putting together an event called Donating for the Kids. It's an event that me and my label have put together to help with the inner city youth, after school programs, and just just going back to being a pillar in the community. You don't have to be somebody big. You don't have to be somebody a major to make the hugest difference in somebody else's life. So we do have that going on. That concert will be on the 26th of August. I will be letting y'all know with more details as they develop. Also, we have my poetry book out right now. It is called The Catalog. It is out right now on Amazon. The link will be in the description box below. Sky, you have any projects or anything that you're working on, writing wise?
So, yes, pretty much mine is just small for the moment. I would love to build with like-minded individuals financially. Hell, I put my own money in first, but I do want to build some for us. I just got to figure out what I'm building. But at the moment, I'm only giving advice on relationships. I do have a YouTube channel. Check out Sky Tribble, or also check out Melanin Matter Melanin. Look it up. I'm also on YouTube, and I believe he did mention that my links will be in the description box. They're excellent channels. One of my channels talk about how if you're interested in locking your hair, I actually show you how you do it. And then my other channel talks about relationships and how you can self-love yourself and things like that. I also say, hey, if you need advice on something, I also give out my email. I do free consultations. Everything's free. We need more free things in the community as well. I mean, we were trying to build Black business. I agree with that. But the services that I offer are free. So, yeah, I want to help build our community back up.
And you know what? I'm glad that you say that, man. Because there are a lot of people that are doing a lot of things within the Black community, and a lot of things you don't have to pay for. A lot of things you don't even have to really do no more than contribute your time and effort. So if you do have a chance, man, go check out, and please do go support my homegirl Sky. She puts a lot of time and effort into her YouTube channel. She puts a lot of time and effort into what she speaks on, and I'm actually honored, and I thank you once again for joining me on the show today.
Peace and love, brother. Thank you for having me.
Most definitely. And until the next time that we all speak again, to all my fellow kings and queens, may y'all stay blessed. May y'all stay awake. Short remarks. Just wake up, people. There's a lot going on in the world. We need to pay attention, but we also need to be prepared. There's no point of going into battle with a sword and a shield if you never know how to use it. So, stay equipped with knowledge, stay equipped with knowledge, just knowledge and wisdom. And until the next time, y'all be blessed, y'all be safe. This has been another episode of the Black Service Announcement. Until then, we will holler at y'all. Good night.